Okay, everybody, give me just 1 minute to get things set up here. Since this is live and not recorded previously, I'm going to get the link over to the Discord. Everyone's doing good. Market's doing pretty good. We're at all-time highs. Crazy. Not sure why it's not popping up in my YouTube. It's supposed to be. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me go post this to our Discord for members, and we'll get started. We're going to cover the ORB strategy. Sorry, a little bouncy. Alrighty. Okay, let's go ahead. As you can see here, this is HIMS. Is it HIMS? Netflix, sorry. HIMS is over there. So Netflix is one that I have some decent long-term calls on, and I'll manage puts in between. So I'm kind of doing a straddle or strangle, however you want to call that. I've heard it both ways on Netflix. But so I think what I'm going to do, this is kind of new. We're going to adjust as we go here. I'm going to give it a minute here. I think there's only one person on. I'm going to give the Discord a chance to hop in. Since this is impromptu, it wasn't scheduled. They will become scheduled, but it wasn't at the time. I want to give people chances to get in, to watch. So this market's been pretty crazy. I got an alert earlier that TMF was rising, which I find TMF rising with the market to be interesting. That's not usually what happens. TMF is an ETF off of the bonds, so it's a little weird. Not sure what's going on with that. But, well, let's just get started. I don't want to have to have you all waiting around for nothing. So we can just get to this. All right, so what is ORB? ORB is Opening Range Breakout, ORB. It's an acronym for Opening Range Breakout. And the point of ORB is to find the trend for the day. That's the whole point. So we can use, ORB to see how we do. So if you're into, mostly for zero DTEs, if you're into day trading, this is actually a really wonderful strategy to have. So let's go ahead and start with Netflix since it's already pulled up here. This over here on the right is your visual range profile. This is like a volume on the side that's based on the price action. So we have volume down here for the movement of those candles in that time frame, but we have, Oh, Mo just posted. Hold on a second. Oh, through April 30th. Okay, April 30th, he just mentioned April 30th is the 40% off the Earner Plus tier, just so you guys know. So April 30th, we've got another 7 days till the 40% off. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do here is you open up at any time frame, you want to drop it down to 15. This is how I do it. This is the strategy that I've kind of finagled to myself. I've perfected it to what I like. You can make it your own if you want and test it and see how it works. But what I like is the 15-minute time frame. So here's the gray. That's almost a mountain time. So my time frames in the bottom might look different than yours depending on your local regional time. 7:30 is my opening for. This is kind of blowing up over here. All right. 7:30 is my opening time. So what I would do is 15 minutes. I get a horizontal ray, and I go to the top of the wick. I do wicks. I like including the wicks. So place the horizontal ray on the top and bottom of the finished 15-minute candle, just like that. You can make any color you want. You want it red, you want it yellow, magenta, white, doesn't matter. We'll use yellow for today. So we go from the 15 minutes. Now this is it's 10:20 my time, so we're about 2 hours for East Coast, right? So we were kind of late. I mean, to be honest, you can start right from the beginning, but you'll be sitting around for a while. And as you can see here, we already have the trend stuck inside this channel. So right here, if you're doing 0 TTEs, you want breakouts from above or below these lines. Netflix is stuck in this channel. So right here, we think, well, this may not be a great play for today. I marked them. Let's keep it up. We'll move somewhere else. Let's go over to HIMS. I know HIMS dropped today pretty good. So how could ORB have worked well for HIMS today? By the way, this setup here is Mo's recipe. It's his bread recipe, so it's a private script only given to members of the Earner Plus tier in the Discord. No wick on top of this, so it's a bald candle, so we're just going to go right to the top of the candle and bottom of that wick. All right. Now, as you can see, it opened and just heavily dropped, but we have a reversal coming. Interesting. So let's go ahead and drop to a 5-minute from the 15. So we have a breakout to the downside. We have what would be considered a retest of that downside. Here, if initially, let's say you didn't see all these, you could say this was beginning to confirm downside with this retest, but it failed. It jumped back above. We have a one coming down, and now we're going to retest. So ideally, ORB is 15 minutes to 5 minutes. Then you want to make sure that your candles are going to break out, retest, and then confirm in whatever direction that you're seeing it go, whether it be puts for the downside, calls for the upside. So since this is coming back up, we have almost the 5 crossing the 13 with that green diamond. This candle is breaking in, likely going to be closing inside this. It would not be a confirmation. I would not say this is confirmed because it's going back up into the channel. And therefore, it would not be confirmation. We need to find one that's more textbook for you guys to learn off of. So let's go and see if SPY will do it. Kind of. $7.30. So here's a confirmation. We have a breakout. We have a breakout confirmed right beautifully on that line. That's quite textbook, but it looks like it's not going to hold. So we confirmed right here in the line. We tapped the wicks and we were moving up, but it's starting to fail and come back down again. Now the 50 EMA is coming up, so if we can bounce off of the 50, then that'll be great for calls on the SPY. But we are at all-time highs with the SPY, so it's like, no. Do we really expect it to go up from this point? Let's go. I'm going to look at my watch list here and see if there's anything that might be decent. IWM looks like it might be one that broke down. Okay. Yeah, looks like confirmation there. Okay, all right, this looks good. This looks good. Oh man, SanDisk is going off. It's crazy. SanDisk is nuts. All right, 7:30 in the 15-minute, 7:30, we're going to mark the top and bottom. This one, obviously, we know it went down, so marking the top is kind of silly, but we'll do it because we're learning. 5 minutes. By the way, these big red boxes and such, this is the, I like using the volumized fair value gap indicator along with Mohs, RSI, and MACD as well. I just think that all of this adds to being more consistent. So we can turn that off since it's kind of confusing. So this is just Mohs script with MACD and RSI added in. All right. We've marked the tops and bottoms of the opening candle, 15 minutes. We've dropped to the 5 minutes. We have a breakdown with a failure, breakdown, and then a slight retest right here. We have the EMAs moving south and an indicator 13/50 on the downside. So we could have put a sell order right at that convergence zone. I like doing a 0.5 to 1.5 or 2 for my ratio. It just feels like most consistent. So my stop loss would be up here at somewhere in these candles, depends on what your risk tolerance is. And then my profits would be taken down here at the 1.5 to 2 range. So we have, let me zoom into this, make it a bit more clear for you. Let's go ahead and lock this. So we have a breakdown confirmation right here. It's not as textbook as I'd like. I'd like the wicks to really tap on that line and then keep moving, but we're close. We're close. And of course, you have to go with the EMAs as well, right? The EMAs also showed you they were on the way down. So you're going to come in here, and if you're wanting to do, puts on IWM, 0 DTE, you'd open puts right here, and then we would wait. We watch it move, watch it move. We'd be somewhat in the money. We'd be more in the money than less, and yeah, waiting for it to do something pretty significant. And so as we're tracking down, so we've went from 276.90. Let's just assume you opened up the put there, and we're still going down. You would have wanted to sell here essentially. Right here at this point, as soon as you start seeing green volume, we've got the MACD turning back up. We've got the RSI turning back up. You would sell your put right here. So 276.90, selling the puts at 275.41. not a massive return, but if you had, 2 or 4 puts together, what is that? You figure delta is around, 0.6, combining delta and gamma together. That's $60 a move. You have 276.90 and 275.41. That's a 1.49 return times 60. That's $90 per contract. Assuming IV didn't change too much. If IV was to go up or down, that's different. So if you had four contracts, see, we're still dropping. So if you didn't sell here and you missed out, and you held, we're still doing good. Theta, you want to watch theta in all of this, right? So let's also track that. We have an opening time frame of 8:35, and let's say we're still holding our puts. It's 10:30, so you've held for 2 hours. So theta would be starting to munch on your premiums at this point. Look at that. Look at that. That's lovely. Shoot, I should live trading right now. I should do that. To be honest, at this point, I don't know if I would want to get in. We've had a nice reversal. We've had a decent drop down. You'd be kind of risky getting in here. We could look backward and see if there's any supports that it might be touching from yesterday. Right here would be one. Right here would be one. So we're kind of on a support right now, which I feel like is why it bounced right here. So it broke the support but rebounded. So yeah, I'm not super keen on entering a put at this point. Possibly double bottom. I don't like double bottoms, those chart patterns in short time frames. I like them more for longer time frames. But potentially double bottom here for a reverse. But we're on a support level right there. And then right here, these two. So if you can break down from here, we possibly can get down to 275. We'll see. We'll see. MACD is looking still pretty bearish. RSI is pretty low. But all of this stuff is at all-time highs. So let me get back up to my post. I'm just going to copy this over to a few of the channels here. Mo's going to be on doing lives in about an hour and a half, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on here right now. All right. So that's really all you do. For ORB, it's pretty straightforward. 15 minutes to 5 minutes, wait for confirmation on that line, the corresponding line, and you just follow the trend. Now, some people have said that 5 minutes is too long. Okay, let's try 2 minutes. I know, because a lot of free TradingView platforms, they can do 1, 2, 5, 15, I think. This one is the plus membership in TradingView. So let's go to the 2. And here's our orb line, the yellow lower orb line. And there's so when you drop to a 2 from a 5, you kind of do get to see that more closer confirmation there. You broke down, got close enough to confirm, bounced off the 50, and then kept trailing down. Obviously, for 0 DTEs, this right here is, well, it's A, it's iffy, right? B, it's going to eat your premiums with theta. So if you have a really high theta and you're doing this and you're seeing a lot of chop here, you may just want to cut it short on one of these more profitable candles, because you keep holding theta on a chopping side like that, it's just going to keep, holding your options on a chop. Theta is going to take away your premiums, and that's just terrible. So we could have sold here. Now on Mo's recipe, it does give you an indicator for oversold. We have that as well right here. RSI dropped pretty heavily, so that would have been a very, very good tell to get out of your puts right there. Now we do have a reversal coming back down. Obviously, we retouched the same spot, so you could have stayed, but theta would have taken you from here. So that is ORB on IWM today. Let's see, Jordan's saying SPX. All right, let's go. SPX. Apparently, by the way, Robinhood has extended hours to trade SPX, so that's fun. You all do that. All right, SPX is a little strange because it doesn't show any after hours, so you got to be a little bit more careful with your, finding your time frames. So we're going to go to the 15-minute time frame. Find this morning, which would be right here for me. Let's optimize visualization of that candle. We're going to go top and bottom of the wick. Okay. Up to the 5-minute. So we sat sideways. We had a breakout. Right here would be a close confirmation because the wick does land right on the line. You can see that. And it moved up from there. Unfortunately, it did not stay very far. It's trailed back down. It's tried to retest again for a high bullish push almost 3 times right here. And now it's finally failed. Now, I've heard this phrase, and it's actually a pretty good one. Max Trading is another one I follow online. And it says, there's nothing more bearish than a failed bullish move. And inversely, there's nothing more bullish than a failed bearish move. So if price action has failed several times on the upside, which is right here, boop, 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 I would thinking that it's failed several times and it can't push up above these lines, that means at some point we're going to have a downside pull. Now, there's no guarantees for anything like that. But we have an overnight rally, several failed bullish moves, starting to curl down. Might be a chance here for some puts if you're playing SPX. Let's look at other indicators. We have lower volume. That's not great. So that means it's kind of slow. We have the MACD from right here at this point start to turn down. So we have a falling MACD. We have, okay, that's why. So once you move the screen over and you get rid of the averaging older stuff, there's your volumes. That's better. I was wondering, it's really low volume. That makes more sense now. Okay, so MACD's falling. We have RSI also falling slightly. We're more in the middle range, which is actually fine to be at. But that suggests, though, to me that we're just kind of going to chop along for the rest of the afternoon, well, into the afternoon. So 15, 5 lines, breakout, confirmation, and then continuation in that pattern. This one has tried 3 times, but we're kind of making a downside move here, huh? Somewhere in there. perfect line, but we're kind of trending on that downside. So there's potentials that we're going to keep kind of chopping down until something changes. Oh, he's blowing up. So SPX, and today's actually kind of a boring day, guys. But like, there's some that are going crazy. Netflix, still chilling in the channel. HIMS, retest and go back up. All right. SanDisk, let's just look at that. I mean, it's just... SanDisk is just out of control. Out of control. I swear. Avis is another one that's interesting. I'm waiting for puts on it when the market movers finally are done with their manipulation. We'll cover that in a second here. Because Avis is a funny one. All right. We're at SanDisk. Obviously, very expensive. Premiums on this thing is nuts, but it's moving nicely. So I'm want to show you, since we're doing some teaching on this. 15-minute top bottom, drop to 5-minute. That's where we are right now. You've got a breakdown, confirmation, failed. It kept moving through the channel. Now we switch our mindset. We go, okay, well, we'll pretend we'll start over. We have now a breakout to the top side. Not a true conversation, not a true confirmation, because it did not come back down here. But we have to take into account the EMAs, the trends, the momentum, the movement. MACD as of right here. MACD was still trailing bullish, still looking good. RSI was wonderful. Right here at the middle upper range, Goldilocks range, still looking great. So we could have dropped into a long. You know, as we're crossing up here, let's say we drop in right there. Now with SanDisk, because it moves so much, the whole 1 to 2 doesn't really play out as well, because 1 would be like down here. So you have to kind of adjust it. So wherever you think that range is going to be, somewhere up here. So we're going 2 or 931 ish. Let's say you're hoping for a $5 move. So you put it, somewhere in here. Look at that. Okay, this is how much this thing moves. It's crazy. If you were to do a $5 move, you're only within a few candles. So SanDisk is nuts. The things that move, I mean, it's crazy. I think it's, what is it up today? 20-something dollars it moved today. It's 50. So it's moved 50 bucks today. That's just nuts. So play with it. Make it your own. There's a certain strategy, a certain rule that works, but then, work with it. So that's what you would do. Y'all hear that? Discord. Let's look at one that's more realistic, right? Because SanDisk for most of us is not a realistic opportunity. What else am I in, Jordan says? Mostly just, right, for options, just Netflix. I'm not doing much else right now. Just, shares for options, though. Not much today. Most of the things moved overnight, and now they're kind of just trailing off, so not too much. Oh, Broadcom. Broadcom looks fun. We're going to delete that just so I want it in history. Let's go over to AVGO. 15 minutes. Optimize the candles so you can see better. I'm just going to mark the top side because we know. So we've got MACD turning up. We've got RSI turning up. We are now overbought in the RSI. We are highlighted. So drop to the 5. Ooh, look at this confirmation. This is more textbook, folks. This one's good. This one's good. So right here, let me see. Can I get an arrow? Can I get an arrow? No, we'll just do this. So right here, we have the confirmation. Okay. I like it more up right here. Okay. That's our confirmation. Where that? There we go. We broke out, retested, continued up. Now Mo has a phrase or a word he likes to call this momentum right here, where you go up, over, and then up again. That's pretty solid. This is a solid situation where yellow's kind of hiding. Purple? Yeah. Oops. Up, over, and up. Forgot what he calls it, but it is basically saying that the momentum is likely going to continue bullish. If you see that going the downside, same thing just for the downside. So we have confirmation of the upper orb line. We have the up, over, up, forgot what he calls it, maneuver. And then EMAs, and it all keeps climbing. So that worked wonderfully. I'm a little jealous I didn't jump in, to be honest. So right here, confirmation. Let's just put, let's say we waited for another few minutes and jumped in right there. Now, we'll say it's 410. We jumped in. Close enough. Round up 0.2, 0.02. 410. Unless we're hoping for a $4 move, so we'll go to 14. Somewhere in there. You would have had it. You would have had it nicely. Let's lock this. Up, over, up. Continuing. This is a super nice setup. This is a wonderful setup for orb. Just gorgeous. Really, really nice setup for orb. Bullish, confirmation, that pattern, that like leg up pattern, I guess. Wonderful. Slight retest of the 5, and then just kept climbing that 5. Wonderful. Retesting 13 now. Man. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous play. That right there is where orb would have netted you a solid, fairly confident play. Let's see what the premiums were. Let's get over to Broadcom. 0 DTE calls. Now, right now it's different. We have a lot of Greeks that have changed now because it rose. So we have IV that's higher, things like that. IV is at 56. It probably rose 10 points is my guess. So right now, it's also later in the day by, 3 hours. So premiums will get cheaper as you get closer to the end of the day. So right now, we have a $94 premium on a 420 call. I'm not saying to get into calls now. Obviously, we're starting to tire out. But if you had done a $4 move based on the 420, we'll just go backward. Theta is 600. Keep that in mind. So 600 for the entire day is going to quickly get at you. So you would not want to hang in here super long. So we broke out at 820. Let's say we hit our target finally at 9:20, 9:15. So that's 1 hour. Yeah, so 1 hour out of the day, Theta's starting to take your profits away for sure per contract. So definitely you'd want to be careful there. delta plus gamma is only going to be, we'll see, we're different now because of Greeks. It's $40 per dollar at this point. It would have been higher down here. So not too bad. At a $4 move, Greeks of, let's say, 50, you had 2 contracts because it would have been more expensive. It would have been more like 150 a contract, maybe 200 back then. We'll say it's 200. So $4 times 50, and you have 2 contracts. That's 400 bucks, give or take. $400 move right there, with a pretty confident hold. Now you would have lost some premiums here. You have gone up, and you would have lost premiums, lost profit, hoping for this reversal. But all the EMAs would have still helped you show we're going to be okay, and it rose again. Now that's just the top of the green box here. That's just the long. If you had held all the way through, or even added another call somewhere in here to like 3 calls, right? That goes from 414 to, let's just average this middle here, 419. Yeah. So you would have had a pretty significant move all the way up. Oh, not date, sorry. Roughly a $9 move times 50 on a delta gamma combination. Now, as you got closer to strike, so if you did a 410 strike or a 411 strike, and it passes that, your gamma gets higher to a point. Your delta will continue rising as you get in the money. So once we passed, let's say you did a 411 strike. Once you got into 411 and 12, your delta is going to start climbing from 50 to 70 to 80 because you're more in the money. And then your delta will hit near $100 per dollar move as you get in the money. So your 50 would have been increasing as you also increased value on the stock. So it's a little hard to gauge your profits, off of that strictly. But you would have figured if you can be conservative with your averaging of 50 bucks per dollar move, it's 400 bucks in here, if not higher. If you went the full 9, you have to probably average more of a $75 move, figuring lower and higher as you went in the money. Boy, man, that's a serious profit right there. What a wonderful, wonderful move. This one's great. Broadcom did really well today for ORB. Wonderful. Trying to delete these circles. So yeah. 38 minutes we've been on here looking around. Netflix still on the channel. SPX climbing down that line like I told you. So we're in a downtrend somewhere in this area, and we're still chopping down that line. Let's see. I'll look on my phone and see what Well, it seems like everybody's kind of waiting for Mo to get on. Don't have too much else to do here. No one's commenting besides Jordan. This was impromptu. This wasn't scheduled, so maybe that would help out if it was scheduled, huh? It's funny, IWM has crashed where Q and SPY really haven't moved at all. Kind of interesting. IMS has gone down. Okay, look at this. Look at this, folks. I like this. Okay, we have already drawn out orb for the day. We have a failed confirmation here, and then the drop. We have the EMAs crossing over, 5 under 13, nice big fat candle, and drop, drop, drop. I'm gonna jump into 3 puts right now. Out. Oh, right there. I'm gonna go for a 0.5, which is actually really small for what I do, but I don't want to hang out too long. We're just gonna aim for this. We're gonna drop to a 3, just so we can see kind of more what it's gonna do a little faster. We've got downside MACD. We've got a low RSI, so that's a little iffy. And I would have preferred the RSI be a little higher before a drop, but we'll see. Opacity. Not change the. It's a little too. I'd like that to be a little bit like lighter. Yeah, it's okay. So we're late. I mean, late coming into this orb for sure. 100% late. Really should have had. Right, we should have jumped into this put way up here at this much more of a confluence drop. So we'll see. I'm just gonna lower my stop loss because I'm not really, loving this because it already has dropped pretty heavily from the rest of the day. So the chances of this being successful is probably pretty small, but we're learning, right? I'm teaching everybody as we're going. So I only see we're in a down pattern. I don't know if that's really trustworthy. Kind of have some upside that's widened. So that's not great. Funny how it just as soon as we got in there, anything back here to look at? So when in doubt, zoom out, right? So we're seeing a reversal. We're like, well, it doesn't go farther. Well, what's back here that might be showing a support? Yeah, right there. That's a pretty solid support line. A little bit lower. This choppiness here can create supports. That's probably why it reversed it back a bit right there. Visual range profile shows some weakness in here. So would have liked to be able to have it fall to around 2650, but there's some support levels in this area. It bounced off of this as well. So before entering that put, I could have looked back and saw that bounce is around the same support as before. So Probably should not have entered there, seeing that. But we do have a descending wedge off of a fall. Oh, didn't lock that. Lock your boxes. That's such a huge help to lock your stuff up. Doesn't move around. I forgot even where I was. Where was it? Oh no, we moved time frames. Let's see. You can go off of your profits and losses at this point, and kind of that'll help show you. So we are about right there. So I'm taking a little bit of a loss at the moment. I mean, it's like a few bucks because we've only moved 15 cents, so it's not huge. But seeing that it did hit this trend line, and we are kind of reversing. Let's see, we have a bit of MACD reversal. RSI is still kind of flat. It could be a fake out reversal where you just need to chop sideways for a minute, and then we'll fall more. Unlock that. Yeah. Premiums weren't much. It was 80. Now I'm showing here on this chart, if I had gotten in right at the top of this candle and fallen all the way down, that was a $0.23 move. So that's 75 bucks roughly. If you had 3 calls, or I'm sorry, 3 puts from the top, 75 bucks. That's not bad for a small move. That's lovely. 28.50. Yeah, 50-cent move for 75 bucks in 10 minutes. All right, so I'm already out of these puts because it bounced right off of that line. No point in staying in something that you know it's not going to work out for you. Oh, sorry, Jordan. Yeah. Oh, I was just jumping into this HIMS here, figuring since it's moving, but I went in late, so I already closed out. I was just saying that this was a wonderful Broadcom, and this one was a wonderful orb test here. You have fail, confirmation a little bit here. You could have jumped into a put here, but then it failed again. More confirmation right there. So we had 2 opportunities for some puts. One right here from confirmation down for a 0.32 move, and then another one. Come on now. Another one right here, which would have been better, down to there. So a 0.5 move. That one with the Greeks, it would have been about $75 for 3 puts if you had gotten in right there at the top of the cross, which is ideal. I already said I'm entering these puts right here way too late, and I figured it was going to fail. It did. Way too late. So I mean, obviously we could have jumped into calls. We see that it's going to bounce off of here. We've got green volume, we've got MACD changing, we've got RSI changing. So ideally you would have jumped into a call. Right about here. And would have want to run up to roughly the top of that gap, potentially. But we are inside this down channel because we have a descending wedge. So we want to be careful of that. So if we got into here, 14, so not fully 50 cents, but if you ran that down for 75, ran it back up for 60, that's a nice bit of profit for only holding for 30 minutes. That's on 3 plays, or three options each. 3 down, 3 up. That kind of thing. Couldn't believe it. Why is my seat so far back? Oh, not that. Wrong handle. The seat reclines and I I always forget which handle it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's better. SPY is kind of in a downward chop. Let's just go look at SPY. Netflix still doing boring things. Look at that. Told you. Boop, 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 boop. Internet can be slow again. I think it does this all the time now. Come on. It's doing great, Internet. Why are you being laggy now? Oh. Stop it. Anchored volume profile. We have orb already set from this morning. Do we? Oh, right there. Okay. So top line, we just didn't do a bottom. That's why it looks funny. A lot of volume in this area. Weakness down to here. Oh, so these two here, these purple lines. These are old orb lines I didn't erase. And look how funny that is. These orb lines actually correspond with this nice volume profile right here. Interesting. Interesting. Sitting right along the 50 on the 15. Has not broken down. Just doing this. This downtrending move. It's not really enough to do anything with, to be honest. I mean, I think that's the high line, high orb up here. So we came up, we've just done these weird failed tests. It's not doing anything. It's not enough to move. 709.63. There's 70 cent move from here to here, but that's way too long for ODTD. I mean, this one would be nice. That was good. And up was good. Just it's really choppy for me. That would be really hard to play, I feel like. 5/13. So we have a potential for more upper movement back into this larger volume profile. I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. It's dangerous. Danger, Will Robinson. At least for SPY, I don't really trust it to. Not yet. I feel like it's waiting for the afternoon. It's going to do something wacky, but not yet. IWM is still falling. Doing a choppy down. I guess we could try playing that. Oops. Could try some ODT on IWM. Yesterday, holy crap! Yesterday, my Atlanta guys. So it was last 15 minutes of the day. Premiums were cheap, and it was moving between $1 to $3 at a time, which was great. And I I I got into 50 puts, 50 contracts, and I was like, as soon as I did, I was like, this is ridiculous. If this thing moves $1 in the wrong way, instantly just obliterated, right? It was like, that's just nuts. So I closed them out just right away, no loss or profit or anything. And see, yeah, here's our old box, and it moved in the direction I was hoping for. It moved $2.50 on 50 contracts with the Greeks. It would have netted $5,000 because it moved in less than 30 seconds. What? $5,000 in 30 seconds. I mean, I wasn't in it, obviously. I mean, I was, but I didn't stay. It's just crazy how much money can be made if you are in the right spot at the right time. Absolutely nuts. $5,000 in a minute. I mean, that's like casino style stuff where you just happen to land on the right card, right? Like, that's crazy. Anyway, 0 DTE at the end of the day. I might be trying that today, to be honest. That sounds wonderful. To give it another shot. Because we have not seen Qs or SPY move much. They rose a lot, and they're kind of just trailing off. What's it waiting for? What's it waiting for? And SPX. Oh, see, now it bounced. It's going to retest up here. You would have thought, if it would have failed, but this is proving to be more of a bull flag. Gap up, rise, slight drop, and then if we break out above this, it's gonna go. So that being said, since SPX is rising, then my guess is now IWM is small mid cap stuff, so it's not the same. It will not move the same as Qs and SPY. They're different. So generally, if SPY and Qs are doing well, it does okay. But as this one failed for the day, and it looks like the SPY is doing all right, then this one might pick back up. But I want more confirmation. I'm not super sold on this being a bottom for the day. Let's look back over here at some prior things. Ooh, okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3 areas of support. I like that. Triple bottom, kind of. 1, 2, 3. Which then showed your rally up, but then it didn't hold. Right back down to our prior. Well, I guess we still have to go lower. 274.50 would be prior, so holding our dollar downside. But we're hitting those supports right now. So we'll see if this thing can hold or is it going to fail. Let's draw some trend lines and see if. Let's give it that channel like that. All right, let's do that. Give it a channel just to play, just to see. It doesn't have to stay in that channel at all. It's just a fun idea. See what's gonna do. I'd like to see it get back up here to the 50. At least wick off and bounce, just so we can give, you'll give us an idea of what it might do. Yeah, we got this little EMA starting to cross the 50. Is that indicative of a lower move? What's the price range on? Yeah, almost $2 from the downside of that orb line. We could draw volume for the day. So visual range profile is kind of it moves as the day goes. And then you have the range volume on the left. So that's showing similar volumes. We have all these volumes. Volume left, volume per candle, volume per level. And they should match, but so we have a lot more buys going on right now than we do sales. A lot of weakness right here, right where we were at. A lot of weakness. So let's just turn on the FVGs and just see if there's anything. Oh, right there. This is why I like having the volume profile or fair value gap turned on. Is there's a lot of times that it'll hit inside these gaps and they'll bounce, and they'll help you recognize supports and resistances also from prior, as we saw back here. Boop boop boop, right there in that large prior box, and that's where it bounced as well. So, it's a combination of the things. Mo's script is incredible, but it's fun to be able to add more stuff to it and kind of help you learn maneuvers of what it might do next. So we've got IWM. It broke down off of orb earlier, and now we're just kind of waiting for a confirmation from the bottom. Are we going to go back up, or is it going to fail to continue on the downside? More selling pressure right here just changed. A lot more sales going in. I kind of want to put some puts on this one. Let's see, what's the premium cost? 40. Like I said, IWM has some pretty cheap premiums. Now, granted, you don't get tons of huge moves, but they're not bad. For a 275 put, it's 40. So that's right. Strike would be right here at the bottom of these candles. EMAs are still tracking south. You have selling pressure, some selling pressure into this FVG. RSI is already kind of low. It's trying to be bullish. It wants to be bullish. MACD is not convincing. We're in a 10-minute time frame. Let's go to a 5. I think we're going to get back down here to 270. mid 274s. Let's just go for it. We're gonna do. I don't know. I'm not really convinced, guys. I'm not convinced. Let's get some smaller frame. Yeah. What is SPX doing? Come back down to test the 50. It's a hard one. Oh, got some buying pressure building back up again. Two-minute time frame. Looks like the Bollinger Band's starting to come back up. Huh? All right, let's jump in. There are 4 puts right here. Sorry. Oh, see, jeez, guys. I It's still within line, so let's give it a second. I'll jump out if it gets to that top of the line right there. Oops, I didn't like how it chopped sideways there. Oh, we're about to be there. Let's see, MACD is still turning up. Let's swap over, and we're gonna do 2 calls. I'll hold those puts because I'm still not convinced that downside's over with. So we're gonna just get rid of that for now since we're going up. And we're gonna jump into longs right here. We broke out of that trend, purple trend line. Stop loss is going to be way up here. Tight stop loss. And see, the buying pressure building, that's good. Good for calls. Let's keep wait and see what it does. Okay, we're up 20. Let's go right up here to this, just for kicks and giggles. $20%. MACD is looking good. RSI is looking good. SPX is green. Netflix is nothing. HIMS is going back up the channel. All right, let's hold. Let's hold. I think if we can get the 5 across the 50, I'll add another call. But I bet you we're gonna test real quick here. We're gonna get a red candle to Test down. Zig and zag, all right. 2 minute 2 minute time frames. Ow, sorry. 2 minute time frame. Oh, like I said, red candle. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. We're gonna test that 50 before it does anything. This is why I didn't get rid of my puts yet, because I was not convinced that this was gonna be, you know, entirely a bullish move. But we'll see. If that 50 fails, then I'm even more convinced to downside. But so we're definitely more aiming away of. This is not really orb training at this point. Now we're just day trading. 71 minutes. Getting near that top zone. Another 5 points. We'll see what that does. All right, all right. Looks like it agreed. It agreed to be above the 50. Wouldn't call it a bounce necessarily, but it was at least indicative of upper movement. Those are holding. Buying pressure. Looks like just kind of choppies. Are we going to go for that up over up move? Will that happen? Will that happen? It should happen within the next 5 minutes. If it's going to. 3 minutes, we still have a 50 that's needing to get above. We have upturned EMAs, MACD building, RSI slightly building, that's good. So on the 3 minute, we have not crossed the 50, but we're trying to. On the 5 minute, 50 is way up here at the 276. So far so good with that. I'm going to lock the box. And I think we're good to jump into another call. I do want to get, okay, yeah, that looks better. Let's average in 2 more calls. So we are at 10% up. Let's just see. 3 minutes. Let's go back to the 2 minutes, a bit faster for you. So we've got a slight up over up. I would have preferred a few more candles to be the overside for consolidation, but we're above the 50 on the 2, so it's okay. Mo's going to be on here in about 30 minutes, so I will not be on when he is. Obviously, I'm not going to take his thunder. Getting near that top box. Getting close to this resistance here, so I would be cautious entering at this point with all of this right here. Would not be surprised to see a red candle right here at 275.95. Get somewhere in here and try to push down. Would not be surprised at all. We're at 19%. I mean, I would love for it to just blast off, right? Just power right through these gaps and you know, MACD's looking good, RSI's looking good. We're pushing through those prior resistance levels. Okay, we pushed through that first gap. That's great. Now we're going to hit this next larger one from this morning. We'll see what that one does. What time was that? 9:30. 2 hours ago. All right. So technically I am above my target. So I'm going to set a sell order in here for, we're going to do 3 of the 4 calls, and we're going to sell, just stop. Oh, give it a second. If I do it now, it's going to close. It's too close. We're going to give it a minute. Yeah, see what it closed right there. I still think we have room. It hit these and it bounced back, but I think EMAs are looking good. We got good pressure, good buying power. I want to see it at least get hit 270, 276.10. So we're going to do an order, a sell order at 5.5. Oh, yeah. Now, didn't I tell you I would not be shocked to see a red? Now, I thought it would happen here, but it happened here instead. Right there, I did say there. I would not be surprised to see a red candle try to push up here in this block. That's so funny. And sometimes charting just works out so well. Okay, we have 13 crossing 50 right there. That is a very strong bullish movement. We are on a short time frame, so it's not like, you know, that's not super great, but it does show that it's trying. There's the red I told you about. There's the red. Now, if I had taken it at the top of my target right there, I wouldn't be losing profit right now. So was I being greedy? I mean, kinda. I was at 40 bucks. You know, now granted, it's 40 bucks. You know, it's not wonderful, but 40 bucks is 40 bucks. Down to 24, so we've lost almost half of what we had in a value there. Selling pressure is building. So I wonder if we're done. I wonder if that's it. And we do have that diamond still there. So are we going to push down to the 5 and then go? That gap right there, told you, it's going to hit halfway and red candle. Go ahead and scroll back if you're watching this and recording. Scroll back, as I said, red candle. some of this these videos, guys, it's just waiting. You can't. I mean, I can't do much. I can't talk about much. What else? What else are we gonna talk about, bro? 13 over the 50 right here. MACD's got some selling pressure showing up. RSI is fine. So it's struggling to get past this block. Poof. And rejected. All right, since we're doing DTEs, I'm gonna hop out all 4 of these before it drops any farther. And I'll take the $10. All right, so we're out of this. We're gonna close this box down. So just a little bit of time for Mo. Let's see. It's a weird one, right? I mean, it rejected off of there, but it's like all the EMAs, everything's still showing like it's okay. Well, RSI is falling. You know, I guess we could try for, let's just do one. We could do one put just for fun. Walmart's doing good today. Maybe that was just a retest. Maybe that was just a fake out, huh? Oh, nope, selling pressure. Sure. My puts will be happy. So premiums have already increased. So remember I said 275 was 40 bucks? It's now 100. Because now IV is going up and it's getting more volatile. Interesting. We did not get any indicators to say it was going to fall. You just have to know from your TA that we had a selling pressure of that gap that pushed in and rejected, and we had sell pressure here. It's funny, we still have more buying pressure, but it's not. Oh, okay, here's a 50. It's going to push off 50 or is it going to fail? It's right on that 50. Two minutes. Timer is 40 seconds. It's going to fail. It's going to fail. Don't you think? $275 changed already. The premium, I mean. It's funny how it does that. The Greeks changed so much with 0 DTEs. You got to really watch that stuff. So if you get into a call or I'm sorry, an option at 50 and then the bid ask spread to by 20, you know, by 10 bucks, you're already negative. You have to wait for it to either close or it moves in your favor. It's funny. All right, we've got the 5 dropping. The 13 is still above the 50, but doesn't seem very happy about it. We do have MACD falling. We have RSI falling. Will it bounce? Here we go. We still have a lot of buy pressure in this zone. But I don't think it's going to hold it up. Yep, there it goes below 50. Will it close below the 50? You have 1 minute left. Sell pressure is building. Buy pressure is back. James is just walking down this little line. Oh, buy pressure's given, bounced off that 50. RSI and MACD aren't doing too much to help. We can go look over at SPY or something. I don't know. Hughes maybe. Wow. Stockmo unicorn. Right here. Stockmo unicorns, what he calls it. Where you have a rally, consolidation, and then another rally. So right here, we would have been pretty confident. I don't know why I'm playing with all these things that aren't working out wonderfully for me. These other ones out here are doing better. 5 minutes. 5-minute time zone, time frame. I wonder if you can gauge off of the I think what's something here. So average in this to this from when it did a rally to the base. And if we move it, the breakout zone, no, I guess not. Unless it continues going. That'll be interesting, huh? It'd be funny to find a pattern like that where if you have a rally consolidation, does that prior rally give you any indication on the next move? That would be fun to watch, huh? That'd be interesting. That is the pattern for inverse head and shoulders, or head and shoulders. You take the peak to base neckline of the head, and you can move that to the neckline farther down, and generally that will show you a potential for the next move. So it would be funny if that worked the same way with the Stockmo unicorn here. If you were to take the price differences, sorry, grab this thing, price differences for the rally and bring it up to the next one. But it doesn't seem to be the way, at least not with this one. Maybe non-big ETFs like Qs or Q SPY, maybe more of a different stock, maybe that would work. I mean, maybe it'll work. I don't know. We're not there yet. We're not in the future yet here. B. Dot just commented. Hold on, let me read what he said. Let me see what he. Oh, never mind. There's just comments here in Discord. Greeks, Jordan. Oh, Ace Master asked, how can I tell if there's more sellers and buyers in volume? It's funny. I would say, come to the live. I'm talking about it, which we are. We're talking about the volumes, buyers, sellers. Let's go ahead and throw the anchored volume up here, and let's go ahead also to do the fixed range volume. There we go. Let's just keep. I'm keeping this price range box up here because I'm so curious to see if it's actually going to do it. I don't know. I'm curious though. Let's just see. Let's just see. I do like this. Should we play? Should we go play? IWM just formed a small inverse head and shoulders, just so you know. Oh, they're asking for the live. Hold on. 53. I was just telling him I use the visual range profile. Oh, I'm sorry, I wrote volume range profile. Visual is visual range profile. Oh my god, I just misspelled it. What is that? Vesali? Visual Reapers. Okay. Well, looking like it's not going to be that way. So it's unfortunately, not in this scenario. It's not doing it. So we're just going to erase this. All right, we have a lot of support here at the 653 mark. So I bet you we're going to fall to meet the 50. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. So we're going to go into do 5 puts. Since we're dropping, we have the pressure down here, not pressure, I'm sorry, volume down here, weakness up here. So we're going to go, we're going to go with that about right there. And real tight stop loss, just the top of that candle, because I'm not trying to do much. I'm just trying to show you all and teach locking the box. Oh, actually, we're not. Sorry. Go a little higher on my hair. Let's see. Yeah. Look at that. Isn't that funny? It didn't even try. It was like, oh, he wanted to buy in. Well, we're gonna screw up that scenario. That's funny. I'm already hit my stop loss. Like, didn't get a chance to even put the stop loss order in yet. Please. Good Lord. Lordy. It hit that 13. It was like, nope. 13 is like, nope. We're gonna keep that. That's funny. This consolidation chop is weird. We do have a pretty decent amount of buyers right there at this top level, which I think is what's pulling that up. But we'll see. We'll see what's gonna do. Maybe I should extend that stop a little bit, huh? I shouldn't though. MACD's still looking south. RSI is holding decently well. So it's probably just wacky. Let's see. We do have EMAs converging, Bollinger Bands converging. Let's move to a taller or a farther time frame and see if it's helping anything. We have some upward movement of EMAs. It's nothing wonderful. Oops, I don't want that. Go away. You do a straddle, just do a, oh, that's why. Do a call. And get both sides in case it, does a quick reversal both ways. You always could do that. Back to the 2. Yeah, EMAs are moving up, so maybe we should just do that. still have decent downside pressure. There's just choppy chops. I mean, Netflix isn't doing anything. Sitting there. Netflix. It's gonna eventually. It's just gonna take sweet time, like Elf. O'Reilly. This box is confusing. EMAs are at 8 minutes. I'm gonna jump off. Why did my oh yeah, calls are going up. There we go. All right, I'm gonna get off now. Give Mo his time here in about 8 minutes. So, so yeah, hopefully, earlier on you guys learned how to do ORB. We're gonna do that more often. I went from ORB into just day trading and talking about TA stuff. So, whoops. So yeah, that's all we did here. But yes, this is going to be the Earner Plus level in Discord. That's going to be there once we get this thing fully set up. It's going to be mostly over there. But for now, we can do a little bit of an in-between. But last little 10 seconds here. This is QQQs, looking like EMAs are going to head north. And this will create a newer support for now. MACD RSI is kind of iffy, so it could fail any moment. So be careful. All right, we'll see you guys out there. Discord, the affiliate link for the Discord is in the bio if you're not in the Discord right now watching, and we'll go from there. Thank you for hanging out, those that watched. See you over in the Discord. Appreciate it.